Alright guys, what's up? Chatty CRC back with you here on the channel, and we're going to start taking a look and putting together this Acrobrat here. So first thing we're going to look at is going to be how I'm going to mount the flight controller and all that on the frame, and what kind of grommets to use and all that. Right now, what I plan on using is the Talon and the STRIX, which is the combo from Helly Nation. It's a great combo. Comes with everything you need. You do have to rewire a couple of the pins to connect to the flight controller, so be careful of that. I have this same stack running on my B-roll 3-inch with 1404 running 4S, and I'm using the soft mounts that came with it, and the video that I get out of it is really good. So I don't, it's a solid frame, and I just have frame bolts going up through there into the soft mounts, and then everything's kind of connected together. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do the same thing on the Acrobrat or not, because it works on the B-roll. So why would it not work on the Acrobrat? Is there too much soft mounting that you can get yourself into? So I'm going to kind of play around with the configuration here and see how things might work out. Alright, so things are becoming a mess real quick, and before I get into any build details, it's really just about trying to cover my bases and make sure that things fit. So one thing, if you didn't watch any of my other micro builds, is you're going to definitely need to get some M2 hardware. I have links down below in my Amazon affiliates if you want to get some there for this, and definitely get some of the extra bolts too, because even though you get a nice selection of bolts here, some of them probably just aren't going to be the right size. So what I'm doing is I have put the soft mount grommets inside the ESC, and we'll go over the ESC and everything, and also in the flight controller. And I'm attempting to put the grommets into the bottom of the frame here. You can see I've chosen the black ones, which are the stiffest ones, basically because I didn't get any jello, like I said, out of my B-roll, so I'm not expecting to get really any out of this. So I'm going to go with the stiffest ones, which could be a big mistake, because if that ends up being a problem, then that means that this whole stack has to come out and everything has to be redone. So I've also kind of figured out, as far as the way the height goes, is that I'll have some of the smallest spacers right there, and then we'll end up putting a couple more of the small spacers on top of that to screw in to everything and make that nice and tight. And then what we'll have to do is the flight controller, I guess you would say this is the bottom and this is the top with the USB and everything on it and the arrow, but it is actually going to need to be mounted upside down, just because that looks like it's going to give us the most clearance when we put in, let's just say we use this part of the frame right here, and if we line that all up, these micros are not as easy as your 5-inch frame, but if we line that all up, we will just have enough clearance there for the battery plate, as you can see right here. So I'm going to keep on tinkering away at this until I come up with something that I'm satisfied with and that everything is going to fit together. And then we'll come back and then we'll start going over the components and soldering some things up. So I have some things kind of mocked up here, so that way we could take a look exactly what we are looking at. So I have the black grommets installed there, as you can see, and I also just kind of have the frame dry fitted together with the actual battery plate, and you can see my stack right there is going to give us plenty of clearance with using, I actually used M2 by 12 bolts, and then I used some nylon spacers on top of that. And then if you look right there, I took the ESC soft mounts and cut those in half and put those underneath, then the ESC, then some of the small M2 standoffs, and then it goes right through the Talon, which is going to be upside down, so we have access to the USB and everything, and then just little little nylon nuts on top, so everything is fitting there pretty good. And then just trying to figure out what VTXs I can use. You pretty much can use any VTX in here. It's built for, it's got 20 by 20 stack mounting holes back here, so you know that's going to be fine and everything. But my Unified Pro HV fits back there just fine, and that'll wire right up to the very top of the Talon. The Talon puts out straight VBAT power filtered to your VTX and 5 volt to your camera. Again, there's the stack right there, just high enough to be off of the plate. It's got to be pretty short, and then the Talon's on top there. All of our connections will be there, and that is how it looks from the top side. So that's probably enough just for this little video here. Don't want to make it too long because I want people to be able to easily follow things as far as what's going on. So we just kind of dry fitted some things and found out that we definitely needed to have some M2 hardware, and I have links for that stuff down in the bottom so you can pick that kind of stuff up. And then in the next video we will start getting to work on getting some of this stuff soldered up and going. So I feel like we've came and made some decent progress after getting all those grommets in and getting this kind of figured out. It's definitely half the battle. So we'll see you guys on the next video.